Good day everyone. To our panel, Ms. Lizelle Abuso, I am Harleen Gavino and I will be the representative of our group to be discussing to you our research proposal. This special presentation included the discussion of our title, background of the study, as well as our objective and survey questionnaire. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Before we proceed, I would just like to introduce to you other researchers responsible for the study. My group mates Rika May, Irish, Arlene Gabino.
Good morning, ma'am. Our research proposal. Title of study: Student Motivation and Academic Achievement Investigating Their Relationship. Our Chapter 1, Introduction. Academic achievement is the extent to which a student or institution has achieved either short or long-term educational goals. Achievement may be measured through students' grade point average, whereas for institution, achievement may be measured through graduation rates. Achievement motivation energizes and directs behavior towards achievement, therefore is known to be important determinant of academic success. Achievement motivation is not a single construct, but rather subsums a variety of different constructs, motivational beliefs, tasks, values, goals, and achievement motives. The research will conduct a strong and a positive significant relationship between academic motivation and academic achievement in their study. Stated the motivation is the most important factor affecting the academic success or failure of an individual in the learning process. Motivation is the force which provides the impetus for human behavior, causing individuals to initiate and sustain goal-directed actions. Our conceptual framework. Conceptual framework, the diagram below the input, process, and output. The input consists the possible outcome in student motivation and academic achievement, investigating their relationship. The process consists how researchers gathered the data, output the peak, the researchers' main study, and how they address the problem. Conceptual framework. In our input, profile of the respondent in terms of name, age, year level. Number 2, what kind of motivation they have. A, financial stability. B, family and friends. C, pressure. 3, and number 3, does the motivation they have helps them to earn academic. In our process, a quantitative research designed in descriptive method using survey forms question. In our output, student motivation and academic achievement investigating their relationship. Significance of study. This aims to find out the student motivation and academic achievement investigating their relationships. In student, they will gain knowledge on how to their motivation can help them positively or negatively and how they can address it. Researchers. The researchers will learn and discover the impacts and relationship between the student motivation in their academic achievement, which may able to help the student, teachers, parents, and future researchers. To our future researchers, it will serve as a basic for the future studies that relevant to the topic. Scope and limitation. Limitation, purpose. This study examines family and peer academic social supports as correlates of academic motivation and first semester GPA. Design methodology approach using a correlational design 468 first semester college students Complete an online survey. Demographic characteristic, high school GPA and first semester GPA were gathered from institutional data and linked to student survey responses. Findings: Variety and multiple aggregation analysis revealed that family and peer academic social support and predictive of academic motivation and first semester GPA. In our objective, this approach emphasized the important roles of student belief and their interpretation of actual events, as well as the role of achievement context for motivational dynamics, social cognitive models of achievement motivation, model of achievement motivation, and comprise a variety of motivation construct that can be organized in two broad categories: students' belief is our about their capability to perform a task, also called expectancy components in their motivational beliefs about their reasons. Definition of terms. To have a better understanding of this study, the following terms we define conceptually. Student motivation. Teachers can help motivate students to learn by maintaining a caring, supportive classroom climate. Tasks should be challenging but achievable and defined in terms of specific short-term goals. Academic achievement. Academic achievement is the extent to which a student or institution has achieved either short or long-term educational goals. Relationship. Relationship between academic motivation and academic achievement in their study stated that motivation is the most important factor affecting the academic success or failure of an individual in the learning process. That's all for the chapter 1, ma'am. And 2, and for our chapter 2. Review of related literature and studies. Motivational is vital an individual's academic accomplishment since it is defined as the person's attempt to complete a task, committing the necessary effort and sustaining it. Learners' motivation is shown in their selection of academic assignments, the amount of time and effort they put into each activity, and their tenacity in academic studies. Students can also overcome problems in the learning process if they are motivated.
And this is the part or the content of our chapter 3. We have research design and methodology, research method and technique use, population and sample design and procedures, instrumentation and validation, data gathering procedures, data processing and statistical treatment data. Research design and methodology. This chapter explains the research design approach, the study's participants, the instrument utilized, data collections processes, and statistical data analysis. Research method and technique used. The researchers will employ the quantitative approach to determine the relationship between student motivation and academic achievement. This approach entails gathering information on a group of individuals by posing questions to them and evaluating their responses. To conduct a successful survey, it must first establish who will participate, then decide on the type of survey. It must first establish who will participate, then decide on the type of survey. Then, create the survey questions and layout, disseminate the survey, evaluate the replies, and write up the results. A survey research strategy is often used during large-scale research and depends mostly on closed questions to acquire information that can be processed reasonably rapidly
such as multiple choice response replies. The data gathered in a survey study design is numerical in nature and often evaluated using statistics. Next is population and sample. This study will be conducted on the students of Isabela State University, Kawayan campus during school year 2022-2023. The respondents of the study were the first to third year BSIT students of Isabela State University, Kawayan campus, who are currently studying their different courses. Sample design and procedures. The researchers employ a survey questionnaire as the major data source for the quantitative study to determine the relationship between student motivation and academic achievement of BSIT students. The researchers requested permission from the administrator of the Isabela State University, Kawayan campus to perform the study. The researchers sought the respondents' permission. The survey are then duplicated and distributed to the respondents. The collected data is sorted, counted, and statistically analyzed. Next is instrumentation and validations. To collect the required data for the study, the researchers used standardized questionnaire checklists. The first section of the survey questionnaire is a tool used to collect information on the respondents needed for the study, such as their name, course, age, gender, and how much time they spend playing online games. The second section of the questionnaire is a self-created questionnaire based on significant study on the subject matter, which was later accepted and verified by research professionals. The researchers then ran a pilot study on Isabela State University Kawayan campus BSIT students. Next is data gathering procedures. The researchers employed the survey questionnaires as the major data source for the quantitative study to determine the impact of student motivation and academic achievement, investigating their relationship. The researchers requested permission from the administrator of the Isabela State University, Kawayan campus to perform the study. The researchers sought respondent permission. The surveys are then duplicated and distributed to the respondents. Then collected data is sorted, counted, and statistic analyzed. And last is all about the data processing and statistical treatment of data. To measure the degree of proficiency to the students' replies in the survey and questionnaires on the impact of the relationship between student motivation and academic achievement, the statistical tool to employ are percentage and weight mean. In order to analyze and understand the data, the following statistical approaches will be used. And this is the mean and percentage. That's all. So we proceed now to the chapter 4. And this is also the part of our chapter 4. Here in chapter 4, you can see the content of the survey. But we can see that all of the respondents who answered the survey agreed and no one disagreed. The table presents the weighted mean and descriptive interpretation of responses of questionnaires that explores various aspects of face-to-face classes. The weighted mean represents the average rating given by respondents, while the descriptive interpretation provides an assessment of the responses. Overall, the respondent sentiments leans toward agree or disagree perspective. The grand mean of 3.50, a generally agree, stands on the questions posed. So, all of the respondents agreed and no one disagreed. And That's all. Thank you.
Chapter 5. Summary of finding, conclusion, and recommendation. Finding. All the encountered in using the student motivation and academic achievement investigating the relationship was agreed by the Google form, used based on the grand mean of 3.50. Google Forms users strongly agreed on the benefits in using the student motivation academic achievement investigating the relationship based on the grand mean of 3.50. Conclusion. Based on the result, the student motivation and academic achievement is designed and implemented showed no problem during the survey. Other respondents strongly agreed that they don't encounter problem when they using the system. Therefore, the researchers conclude that the student motivation is concluded based on the result of the survey that the student motivation is beneficially both 2 years. Recommendation. Based on the results, the student motivation and academic achievement designed and implemented showed no problem during each survey. The respondents strongly agreed that they don't encounter problem when they using the system. Therefore, to conclude the requirements required by the both users.